DrillFreak Nation, welcome back to our golf video blog series where it's all things relevant to golf. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about something that I like to, I kind of coined this phrase, and I'm sure it's out there all over the world, the pandemic bump in golf. And we're seeing it right now, a newer resurgence. Even though we were down here in our state for about 7.5 weeks, we're seeing some newer golfers come in for lessons. I could not give any lessons during that time that our golf course, it was shut down as well. So we're going to bring in Marty Myers as our guest, and Marty is a Hall of Fame sports writer for the northeastern part of our area, the Pennsylvania chapter, as well as the Wayne County area. So he's got a lot to give us some advice on what's going on in the golf courses that surrounds our general area. So sit back, stay tuned, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode on the pandemic bump. Marty, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate you having me out here today.
So as I said earlier, Marty is a huge force in northeastern part of Pennsylvania as far as golf goes. So today's episode, as I mentioned earlier, is on what I would refer to as the pandemic bump. And Marty, you and I talked about this maybe about a month ago because I started seeing a huge increase here at Scott Greens with the amount of play we were getting. And you could sort of sense that people just were so glad to get out of their homes and do something. And again, we've been busy with a lot of new faces. What are you seeing out there? You play a lot of courses.
I see the same thing you do, Scott. There's a ton of people out playing a game that hadn't played before or had given it up for years. They're finding clubs in the garage. My next door neighbor said to me, "Hey, when are we going to go out?" I said, "When's the last time you played?" He goes, "About 10 years ago." But people they're happy to be out. It's something they can do. Social distancing really isn't a problem on the golf course, so there's less stress to you personally about playing the game or what's going to happen. Am I going to pick up the COVID? It's just a really relaxing thing. Wherever I go, parking lots. Like today I came here, and I'm parking in the grass. Now you have a big parking lot.
Right.
I had to park in the grass in the second level because there are so many people out here on the golf course today. I think it's a great thing because, the game is kind of taking a dip.
Right, and that's what I want to get into because you and I talked again about this a few years ago, and I had said that to you, we talked about, junior golf and high school golf, that I felt that the landscape of high school golf was going to change because we weren't seeing the juniors as much, we weren't seeing the numbers, we weren't seeing the talent, and it did show up in high school. But now we're seeing, again, so many more younger kids playing. Today we have a sold-out event, kids. We did not see this a few years ago. And again, I attribute this to the pandemic bump because, we can do all the things that you just said. So when you go to some of these courses that you play at or that you have to cover, again, what are their thoughts? What are they saying?
Well, first of all, the spread out tee times have been a great boon to golf. Here's why. Now, I played yesterday at another course where they have 15 minutes separation of the tee time. It's normally a 5 to 6 hour round on the weekend.
Right.
4 hours and 10 minutes for a foursome yesterday.
How about that?
They're a lot more spread out. There's a lot of time, and everybody has their own cart, so you're going to your own ball. There's no hobnobbing between shots or, hey, my son's doing this or my daughter's doing this. You're not really talking about that on the golf course as much, maybe on the tee box, but there's no standing next to each other on the cart, and everybody's waiting for you to hit and you're having a conversation. It's business. And I think that's great for the game because people are speeding up. One of the things, Scotty, you can't, if you have a family, you're not able to spend 5, 6 hours on the golf course, plus travel to the golf course.
Right.
Now you're shooting an entire day. That's just not flying at home for a lot of people anymore. This is really speeding things up. And one of the things that I have an issue with on the golf course is slow play.
You got it. And it hurts golf. And as you say, you make such great valid points. That's a lot of the reasons why people stop playing. They just can't devote 6.5 hours plus drive to and from. We're a 9-hole track. We're a tricky golf course, but it's very fair and it's short. So you can blaze through here. You play here, you're a member
I
here.
can walk here in an hour and 15 minutes and play 9 holes,
right.
Which I live 10 minutes from here, which means I'm tying up 2 hours of a day. That's there's nobody complaining about that.
Right, right. Now, I had a chance to talk to Judy Schrader up at Lakeland Golf Course just to see how they were doing, and she echoed the same statements you and I are saying right now. New faces, they're busy, they have their leagues, nothing's really changed other than how we operate. And actually, I love the operation of tee times, 15 minutes spread out. It just helps us, it actually helps us with staff. So from our look of it, you're looking at it from a player standpoint. For myself as a business owner in golf, we see it's actually more efficient the way we run it now. So we've learned. We're learning to social distance, yes, and we're also learning a better way to get people to have more fun.
Here's the other thing that is helping golf course owners and managers. Now they know about what income's coming in for a day.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've been doing this a long time, that you don't always know who's going to drive up and play. But with the pandemic, people are making tee times. They want to make sure they can play when they want to, and that helps everybody all the way around. It's making the game better too.
Without a doubt. And again, that's a great point. That's a great point because we see what's coming, or we know what's going to happen before it happens, and we still get it. From the Golf Academy side, we've seen again another major bump in new young juniors wanting to play, or as we talked about this off camera, people who put the bags away many years decided not to play golf again, so they want to come in for a lesson. And you just attributed this early with your neighbor. So I mean, we see that as well. So what do you think, though, in the future as we move forward? If you had that little crystal ball, moving forward here with, how do you think this is going to pan out? Because I have my thoughts on it, but I'm curious.
From a personal standpoint, and I know nothing about this, but the way that there are bumps in the cases all over the country happening, I'm not sure we're going to have a football season. I'm not sure we're going to have a soccer season because now you got people in close contact. What are their kids going to do,
right,
until we go back to what we hope will be a normal situation? You got to have something to be involved in.
Right.
And parents are now saying, hey, golf, social distancing, no problems here. I think that we're going to see this for at least the end of this year. And if it carries over, that would be great. But you never know.
Right. And my thought was, too, we might see a newer engagement of kids who would be playing those fall sports, but say, but you know what, if I try out for the golf team, or if I just try to play on the team and have some fun and learn the game, we might see some of that for a bit.
You might see that
get
for
some
a
conversion.
People call it a lifetime sport, and there's no stretch in that. All it takes is the right situation to get involved with. If you enjoy what you're doing, you're going to want to do it more.
Got it.
Hopefully the kids enjoy it when they come out, and these people who are rejoining the game realize, boy, this was fun. I got out. I kind of forgot about my cares for a few hours, because that's a huge thing to me, is for 4 hours, I'm not thinking about, oh, I have a story to work on tonight, or I've got to do this, or I've got to do that. My focus is on the golf course and the people I'm playing with.
Right.
And that's,
You want to separate that.
You do.
I get that.
It's important at this time, too, because we've been apart for so long that camaraderie, that friendship, that it kind of get not strained, but separated.
Sure.
It's nice to bring those back and get back with those people that you care about.
Yeah, you look forward to it. There's no doubt. Well, but Marty, I have to say in closing here, this is kind of a switch because, as I mentioned earlier, Marty he covers sports here in our area, and golf even is huge. And of course, Marty, you cover that too. So it's usually been flipped. You're asking me the questions and I'm answering that, and you're doing the interviewing. But I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy. DrillFreak Nation, I hope you guys enjoyed Marty's comments. Again, I respect what he has to say very much because of the experience he has. So, Marty, thank you for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Anytime. So,
DrillFreak Nation, we'll catch you guys back again on our vlog, and I hope you guys are enjoying your time on the golf course now that we can get out there and play wherever you live around the world. Peace and love, and remember, yes, we are always in this together.